What I am planning to do is also purchase a few more.
Yeah, the IRS announced that I feel like there's a lot more opportunity than ever as a female.
I would say my personal life, I think, has kind of struggled since $1 million.
He's such a cool looking cat though.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Not Your Average Bros. I'm the Blonde Broker.
I'm Ashley Decan.
And this is episode number 5. We are doing a Christmas holiday recap for you all. As you can see, we're very festive in our pajamas, and we've got a wonderful, beautiful Christmas tree behind us.
There's Aaron's baby picture right over there.
Yes, my baby picture. So we are actually here at my family's home in Fort Worth, Texas, recording this episode, and Ashley and her beautiful family are here. Her husband, Ike, who's producing this episode for us, and his beautiful mom, Ashley's mother-in-law, is here.
So comfy, cozy here.
So we've got both families in the house, and yeah, let's kick it off with our Christmas holiday special.
Fa la la la.
Fa la la la. At this current time of filming, we are in a little bit of a dip.
Sadness
in the crypto markets. Bitcoin, I believe, is resting at around 92,000 US dollars. Salami was at what? 180?
180 about, and 15 cents.
And Ethereum was actually higher than its previous all-time high.
Yeah, Ethereum is doing much better than the rest of everything else right now. So good job, Ethereum, for once.
Yeah, ETH is at $3,371 at the time of this pod.
And
so
95 cents.
If you're an ETH holder, you're up bigly.
Let's go.
And speaking of this dip, I wanted to ask you, Ashley, how well you are positioned for the current state of the market and maybe what you are going to be deploying your capital into.
So I would say that I probably should have sold on this last run up. It was a really good run up. So I think the next time I will get a little bit less emotional and probably do a little bit of repositioning. But right now I'm looking to load up. There's a very juicy dip on Mumu. Held that since March. Major is looking very good to buy here.
I think I'm going to buy some more Major as well.
Yeah. Solana for sure. I feel like that will be maybe fall a little bit more. That will be really good to get in on. ETH is a little high for me, so I might, hold on that. MOG is also looking really good. Something like I feel like it always has like a dip and then just blast off. So I'm really, really looking forward to that one. And I bought a little bit more of Unicorn Fart Dust because I'm feeling pretty magical right now.
Yes, I also own some UFD. Most of the tokens that you mentioned. You also had brought up that in the past you round tripped the first crypto cycle that you were in.
Yep.
What are you going to do this cycle to prevent you from holding your bags again?
One of the worst things that I do is I get very emotional when it comes to crypto. I tend to, especially if I post about something, I don't like to sell it. For obvious reasons. One, a lot of influencers have an issue when you post about it and then you sell it eventually. You can be accused of pumping and dumping. That is something that I'm very careful about. So that is something that I keep in mind. So on bags that I feel like I'm not super attached to, I won't post about them to avoid any kind of speculation like that. But I plan on doing, I feel like this year is going to be a good run up, but I want to sell well before the bull market ends, which I think a lot of us feel that way. I have, profit margins that I have. I'm looking for a 40 to 50% run up in my bags. Nice. And hoping to exit from there, but we'll see if that happens. If I see something really comfortable, like if my portfolio does a little bit of 4 or 5 times, I'll probably exit. And people may call me a paper hand for that, but I know my goals and I am not doing what I did last time.
Yes, I think I was pretty sidelined the last bull market. I did not have enough crypto on hand. I was kind of focused on the stock market, but this year has actually been pleasantly different. I own more crypto than I do stocks.
Proud of you.
And I never thought I was going to become that way, but I've done pretty well given the last year has been very good for crypto. What I am planning to do is also purchase a few more altcoins while they're seeing this kind of nasty red pullback. I think we're down 20% over the last 5 days. It's pretty sick if you look at your wallets.
It's been brutal.
But I think everything is going to turn around, especially when we do have the inauguration, which is coming up, and Trump takes office. I think him being elected we've seen a really bullish sentiment for crypto. I think we've talked about this on past episodes. So hoping to see a lot of new all-time highs over the next couple of months.
And Michael Saylor is going to be advising him here in the next year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we're not sure how accurate or true that is, but we know Michael Saylor made a statement that he is volunteering to play some sort of role to assist Trump in being the crypto advisor. Which would be nice for us.
Amazing. We really need, after the last administration really spent a lot of time being so anti-cryptocurrency, from Elizabeth Warren to the SEC, Gary Gensler is going to be out in January. So that is going to be a really welcome time for crypto. We've all been kind of anti-SEC, obviously. Gary Gensler, it's supposed to be there to protect us, and it doesn't really feel like it's doing protection right now. Something else interesting that came up today, the IRS announced that crypto staking is taxable, which completely dropped the market very early in the day. It's recovered okay. It's recovered maybe about 20%. But man, it was pretty brutal, especially if you've been staking all year, like a bank account. And then all of a sudden you learn that the IRS is going to tax you with capital gains. And that is a pretty brutal. So imagine having an APR. I think Coinbase APR is something like 29% or something.
Yeah. Most yield return percentages were anywhere from 14 to in the upper 20%, which if you see that, you're like, of course I would like a healthy return back on my investment, but now
better than a bank account.
But now what is the point if taxes are going to be well over?
It's basically going to equal out your gains, and in some cases maybe be worse, because if you have a 20% gain over the year and then you lose that gain whenever there's a fallback at the end of the year, you're losing that gain and you're paying the capital gains. You're paying the gains without getting the gains, and that is not good for anybody. So I'm hoping when the new administration comes in that there are more benefits to really holding crypto, because right now the IRS is making it really hard for people that are very bullish on crypto. It's just, it's rough.
You mentioned earlier that you might be buying a few more altcoins and meme coins while we see this dip. What app are you using to purchase those?
Well, one of my favorite apps of all time, I'm not just saying this because they're our sponsor, but Slingshot. Slingshot is an app that you can use. You can download on the Apple app. And you can use Apple Pay, Venmo, your credit card, exchanges to load up your wallet. When you want to buy your cryptocurrency, you actually get to use a little slingshot in the app, and you can slingshot your way to financial freedom.
I love it. It is so easy. Your grandmother can use it.
That's correct.
Next section of our podcast, and we actually decided that we're going to start doing this more. Our audience members are sending us in questions to answer.
Ooh.
And we love this because we do have a lot of feedback that we would like to give, and some of our kind of personal experiences with crypto, and maybe how we've traded or have done in the past, survived the trenches or not survived. We'd love to be able to share those stories with you. So I'll go ahead and read off some of our first questions.
I'm excited.
Number one, we had a user say, "Dear Ashley and Aaron, with all the regulatory changes this year, what do you think will be the next big shift in the crypto space that we should all be preparing for? How can women in particular leverage these changes for their financial empowerment?"
Ooh, that's a good question. Honestly, the biggest change that's going to come is the new administration. I think a lot of people are anticipating big highs for crypto. 2021, when that election, happened, we saw a big uptick even with a Democratic administration, which is very good. And to me, that means that it's going to be extremely good for the market with a Republican leading administration, because I think that it tends to be higher with Republican administrations and the markets. So in crypto 2021, when we first got started here, there was not that many females in the crypto space, and there was so little opportunity, especially when you dox yourself. A lot of people weren't doxed at the time, whether you were male or female. And usually when you dox yourself as female, there was a lot of issues problematically. There was people saying, oh, you shouldn't dox yourself. You're female. No one cares what you post. You're only getting traction because you're posting pictures, blah, 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 blah. And now we're seeing so many powerful females in the space. We're seeing lots of different influencers, lots of founders, lots of traders. There's so many people starting new things. We have some of our great female friends like Gigi and Mika having amazing podcasts and trading, Memecoin calls, and that's really cool to see. I feel like there's a lot more opportunity than ever as a female. I feel like there's always been opportunity if you allow it to come to you. But now it feels like there's a lot more barriers that are broken. And I think that there's a lot more of a network of females that have come together and said, hey, let's uplift each other. So I think if you're well connected in the space and you stick with, be a girl's girl, be a crypto girl's girl. I think that's the best way to do it, is leverage yourself with your network and find your niche, and then you'll find exactly where you're meant to be.
Yeah, I was going to say networking. I think regardless of being a male or female has been the most beneficial for someone getting into the space. And I think in regards to getting started, most of the events are very crypto friendly for new users and retail traders that are like, I really don't know what to download. I don't know who I can trust. And I think there's a lot of really good beginner apps out there and tutorials. And I would say just to start watching videos on YouTube. I can't stress that enough, how helpful some of these creators and influencers that have been in the space for a really long time. I can't stress how helpful they are, especially when you do have those questions and you're trying to just learn and get a grasp on, is this market safe for me to enter? Are these plays going to harm me? Should I deploy a little bit here? Should I deploy a little bit there? Who's a good thought leader, right? And I think we could recommend a few, but you just mentioned Mika and Gigi. Those are two really wonderful
They've been in the space forever.
Building.
Gigi's a founder. She was a software engineer before she entered the space. Mika has been in the space. She was one of the first people to talk about the Bored Ape Yacht Club in Clubhouse. And a lot of people, I feel like, slept on a lot of the female creators for years, and they persisted in the bear market, and now we're seeing them reach a great level of success with them getting amazing guests on their podcast and doing great things with trading. I think there's just unlimited opportunity here in crypto. I was just telling someone the other day that they were working a normal office job, and they were like, I'm so sick of working this job. I hate it. I never get any time off. I don't feel passionate about it anymore. And I always recommend crypto because, one, I work in crypto, and two, I feel like now, even after all these years of it being around, even after several bull markets and bear markets, I feel like we're still so early, because there's so few creators and there's so few people that actually add to the space, that if you have talent, if you have drive, if you have persistence, and if you have the wherewithal, you can really truly make yourself something in the space. And I feel like it's so encouraging, especially as a creator. I feel like there's so few of us here. If you look at on streams like Twitch and Kick, there's just an abundance and overabundance, so much so that there's an award ceremony. And now here, there's just so few of us that are consistently persisting, especially in the bear market. We've done so well, I think, all of us, and now people are going to be flocking to us. We see it on TikTok, on YouTube, and all of that. So it's just going to get better from here.
Is TikTok getting banned next month?
Everybody keeps saying TikTok's getting bans. I don't think that would happen, because I think that there would be a Zoomer riots. So I think, I don't know, I would miss it if it were gone. I'm not gonna lie. I've done a little TikTok brain rot on rough days. So I don't know. It seems like a bad opportunity to a lot of companies use that for ad revenue and for mind share and things like that. And I feel like it would be kind of bad for freedom of speech, especially.
Right.
But we'll see that. We'll only see in January with the new administration coming in, if that's something that they want to do, if that's something they want to eliminate. More than likely that will happen, because there's, all red. It's all red. Like we talked about, I think the last podcast, you talked about how there was a red wave, the first podcast, where there's an entirely red House, Senate, administration, all of it. And so if that's what they want to do, they will do it. And we'll see the controversy and the consequences that happen.
That was heavy.
Yeah.
I also hope they don't ban TikTok. I've looked at that platform as almost a feeder into other social channels. I see a lot of creators that go live on TikTok, but they direct everybody over to the other platforms that they're actually monetized on, like X and Kick and Twitch, like you mentioned. So I would hate for that platform to get disbanded for reasons unknowns to me, except that apparently China's getting our data. Let's move on to question 2. I think hopefully we answered your first question. If you want to reach out to us and you have more questions too, I think we're going to be doing this weekly, but Ashley and I are both pretty active online, and we'll try to get back to you. You can do it at Not Your Average Bros, and one of us will see it.
Yes.
Sure.
And also we do weekly spaces under Not Your Average Bros, and you can always ask us there.
Yeah. I love our spaces. We're going to be doing more of those. That's really fun, because we let people come up from the audience and chat.
Have lots of fun.
Question number 2. This was another one. I think we have a couple sent in, but this user said, I love how you both bring your personal stories into the podcast. How has dealing with the ups and downs of the crypto market affected your personal life? Ooh. Especially in terms of managing stress and maintaining work-life balance.
Oh, man.
I guess, should I go first with that one?
Yeah, you go first. I went first last time.
My personal life. I would say my personal life, I think, has kind of struggled since getting into the space and being a creator. I didn't realize how poorly my time management was executed. I actually don't really have great time management. That's something I'm actively working on. I also recently got a therapist. And I think that was
congratulations.
Yes. I get to talk to her a lot about what I'm dealing with. And it's nice because she's not really in crypto. So I'm able to get like a non-biased opinion from her. And bless her soul, she hears the craziest stories. I think my personal life has really struggled, like especially with relationships and friendships. Like honestly, my high school friendships, anybody back at home, I feel like I've kind of been a terrible friend and have neglected them. But with my relationship with you, that's kind of different. Like it's only gotten better, and it's
because I'm your favorite.
Because we're always together too. You are my favorite. But so there's good things and bad things, ups and downs, right? And I would say my only advice is like, if this is the route that you want to go, yes, there's a lot of monetary benefit when it comes to trading. Like I gave up my old 9-to-5 job in electrical. I think I mentioned this earlier, because there was so much money or so much opportunity and money in the market and doing something else than there was working my 9-to-5. But I sacrificed family time, relationships, friendships, stuff that, sometimes I wish I could get back. But I love where we're at now, and I love that we're able to contribute and give back to the community and kind of focus on education, but also tell our personal lives. And then we're doing a really cool thing. This podcast is awesome. So yeah, it's very hard to navigate. You could tackle that question.
No, I relate to you completely when you say that you feel like a terrible friend. Sometimes I feel the same way. There's people, I have over 427 text messages that I have not answered.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's anxiety right there.
It's very overwhelming, especially when they all came in at once when we were fighting.
Yeah.
It felt like both of us had way less time. I know personally, I felt like I haven't seen one of my good longtime friends since end of last year. She probably hates me by now.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's your fault. But I feel like I've been enriched in other ways, because even though I feel like our time is really dominated, we don't get days off. We don't get...
Market never sleeps.
No. And when there's an event, we have to participate immediately. When we see a contract address, we have to get on it immediately, watch it until we can exit, depending on if it's a long-term hold or short-term hold. There's so many things to think about. There's so much content to make. There's so many different ways to go about your business. But I think that in the long run, I feel like we're going to retire early, and that will give us much more time in the future, as well as right now. I mean, we're able to record a podcast. We're able to be with our families. I spent an entire week basically with my family in the past week, getting to see my newborn niece and my other nieces and nephews and my sister, and got to spend a lot of time with them yesterday, especially. And I could do my work right on my phone. And unlike my old job, I would always have to be there in office, constantly feeding my time and my energy and all of that. And even though I'm still working all the time, I feel like I can at least sit next to my husband, my mother-in-law, my best friend, and be able to enjoy life, even with the craziness that is crypto.
Yeah, we don't have to ask off anymore, which is nice.
We can give ourselves a day off.
Being your own boss.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think, we did give up weekends. So we do work on the weekends and at night too, because like we said, the market never sleeps. But you and I have been able to travel the world together and see a ton of different cultures that I never thought we'd get to experience, like going to Singapore.
That was great.
Going to Dubai. We spent 2 weeks in Japan, and, we were still making content all along the way, but we were getting to be in beautiful places.
Yeah, it's literally a dream job. I've never had a more fulfilling career in my whole life. The moment that I discovered crypto, it was like I tapped into a passion that I never thought I'd have in my life. And that's why I love it so much, because I feel like you can do anything with crypto. Anything is possible. Anything that you do, whether you want to be a trader, a content creator, a podcast host, a space host, whatever it may be, it's all reality. We have another question here, and this one looks fun. It's the holiday season. How do you guys plan to celebrate, and have you thought about integrating any crypto or blockchain elements into your holiday traditions, like perhaps gifting crypto or NFTs? Ooh, okay.
I probably should have gifted my little sister and little brother some crypto.
Oh, you haven't gifted your family crypto yet?
I've never gifted them crypto, and that makes me sound like a terrible, awful person, but I have tried and tried and tried. My little sister just had a baby, and so she's kind of, I wouldn't say she's struggling financially.
Our nieces are like the same
Our nieces
age.
are the same age, which is awesome. So both of our sisters just had babies.
It's so cute.
It's cute. And so now we're like new aunts, and this is really fun. But mine is kind of like, you have so much money. How do I get started? And I want to teach her. I want to sit, and I hope she watches these podcasts. I don't know if she does. But she just never has time to sit with me and download a wallet and then sit and look at charts. So maybe this holiday season, that could be where I spend a couple of hours with her.
The gift of education.
My little brother has crypto. He bought Litecoin, I want to say, a few years ago.
Oh, what a smart move.
Yeah, honestly, it was smart. He didn't even ask me what my opinion was. He just bought it, and it's actually done. That's a really good investment for him. So proud of my brother where he's somewhere in this house.
Yeah, I saw him earlier.
He's probably richer than both of us.
Probably.
What about you? Are you gifting any NFTs or crypto for the holidays?
So I've gifted NFTs and crypto to friends. I haven't necessarily gifted NFTs and crypto to family members because actually my sister and my grandpa are actually very into cryptocurrency. They were into crypto before me. My grandpa was actually the first person in our family to get into crypto, and he was very early. And it was insane because when he found out I was into crypto, he was like, oh my gosh, I've been asking you to download the app for years. And he was excited to talk to me about crypto. My sister had even gotten in, and she bought a lot of different coins, including XRP. That was a big one that my grandpa and my sister owned. They owned Telcoin, which I don't know if you remember Telcoin. They had a really good run up back in 2021. I haven't really kept up with it for a while. But yeah, that was really cool. The rest of my family is more traditional finance kind of people. Unfortunately, they're not really open-minded so much to the crypto. I think my dad is, but he's not very technologically savvy, and he is very susceptible to scams. I worked in fraud analysis back in, a decade ago at Bank of America, and he used to fall for scams all the time. So wow. I don't feel comfortable onboarding him. So yeah, so I just plan on eventually gifting him crypto at some point. And there's Aaron's beautiful cat.
Sorry. This is Yoda. I don't know if the camera Yoda can pick him up. I have a hairless cat named Yoda, and he's very nosy, but he's a good cat. He loves me. He loves Ashley. Yeah. I think because we're always on the phone, so he recognizes her voice and loves her. So he's just going to kind of curl up a little bit right next to her and enjoy staring at Ike.
He's very excited.
We honestly should do like a holiday giveaway. We actually did do a giveaway, which we can talk about that later in the pod because I saw one of the questions that came in. Here's another question that we got from users. Dear Ashley and Blonde Broker, you've both been advocates for women in tech and crypto. What advice do you have for women who are skeptical about entering the crypto space due to its male-dominated image? And any success stories that you can share from this year?
Gosh, I feel like our success story this year was really the fights.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah, it was a completely male-dominated industry. In fact, we were the first female main event card in Karate Combat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we were.
Which is so rare in just even normal professional fights. And that was a big W for us. I saw a lot of personal success this year. I know you have as well. Another really cool success story was I got to cover media for Solana, the Solana Foundation, which I'm a big fan of Solana, of course. So that was really great. I had opportunities to work with Magic Eden. I did a couple collabs with Pudgy Penguins. I've done collabs with Yuga Labs Gaming, the Dookie Dash re-release. So I feel like this has been a really good year for not only just, our fight, but also I got to connect with a lot of great companies. We both got sponsored to go with the Magic Eden Polygon crew to Art Basel, which was another big W for us. So I feel like this year, honestly, was just littered with W's.
Yeah, I think 2024 has been really good for us. I can't wait for 2025. I think the bull market is going to go well into middle of the year. You've had such a decorated year, and I guess last couple of years, like if you were to put all of your accomplishments on your resume would be like 5 pages long.
Oh gosh.
At least. Like you've done the most. And I remember seeing all of, the great companies that you've worked with. And it's very inspiring. And I think as another, hi baby,
he wants to be involved.
He's going to be on the podcast. Awesome. I don't have a blanket to wrap you up in, so you just need to sit in my lap. Come on. Right there. Sorry, guys.
He just can't get comfortable right now.
Yep. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen Austin Powers, but this is definitely like a Dr. Evil and Mr. Bigglesworth. Is that his name? Mr. Bigglesworth? Yeah, that's $1 million.
He's such a cool looking cat though.
Is it like this? Yeah, he's a cool cat. I think for me, I spend a lot of my time as a space host for a Web3 agency. So I do some for my personal brand, The Blonde Broker, but also for Genzio Media. And I've been able to interview some of the most prolific founders in the space that are just constantly building and bringing innovative protocols into crypto. I've interviewed Charles Hoskinson with Cardano. I've interviewed the founder of Algorand. I think we've had Bitcoin Cash on the podcast, or not on the podcast, but on Spaces. And we also brought in Polygon onto a space recently.
CEO Polygon.
CEO Polygon. So hearing from people that are emerging tech leaders in this industry and that are actually changing the way that we use crypto every day, it's been really awesome. And I hope to continue to do that this next year. I would love to have more spaces. And also we're going to be bringing on some fantastic people on the podcast. So I know the next couple of weeks we're heading out to LA. So get ready for
good 2025
LA episodes. We can't release who's going to be on yet, but we've had a lot of fun. So I don't know. I think to answer your question, being a female in a male dominated industry, we both have done that with our Web 2 jobs. And then getting into crypto, it wasn't really a surprise when there were more men in finance than females. Yeah. There's a huge difference in statistics when it comes to the female male ratio.
We ball.
But we ball. And right, you make sure that you make a statement, you make a name for yourself, and you just make a difference.
And you don't, in my opinion, you never use being a female as leverage. You use being a female as power. Last question.
Here is our last question for the episode, and then we're going to wrap it up. With the holidays being a time for giving, have you planned any crypto-related charity initiatives? This is good. How do you see blockchain technology being used to make charitable donations more transparent and impactful? We love this question because Ashley and I just did something really special this year. My family has always done the angel tree around Christmas time to be Santa for some of the more unfortunate kids that don't get as many Christmas presents. And Ashley and I, with Not Your Average Bros, decided to adopt a few kids from the angel tree and provide them with clothing, toys, and just really cool stuff that we thought they would need this Christmas. So we got to be Santa, and I love you and I love us for doing that.
That was one of the most fulfilling things. So I've always been involved with charities since 2021. I've really, truly loved being a part. You're the one that mentioned the adopting the kids for Christmas. So that's something that was really wonderful to participate in. So I thank you for that. Breast cancer has always been a really passionate charity purpose for me. I think both of us were really inspired by Leap when he worked with St. Jude's and the Giving Block to donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to charities. So I think our next move is we're planning to make it a big year for charitable giving, and there's going to be some announcements soon, but we are going to have a lot of charity initiatives with, kids and, the homeless and, other things that will be announced at another point.
Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the best use cases for crypto, right? A lot of people maybe don't have the time to actually go out and do something good, but they want to help in some way. So we're going to be, I think, taking funds at some point and actually vlogging different ways that we can give back to communities all over the world. So very excited for that. And I think that's it. I think we're going to wrap up here for the episode. Last holiday question. Ash, what is your favorite holiday dessert?
Oh, man. I would have to say pumpkin pie.
I was thinking of Christmas dessert, but...
I think
is that a Christmas dessert?
It's a Christmas dessert, right?
Ike's mom says yes.
You know what? I'm going to say that my aunt just made a pumpkin pecan cheesecake bar.
Oh,
and that was my favorite.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds so good.
What about you?
Just cookies.
I love cookies.
I like cookies. I'll eat anything that's out on the table because I can't cook. So if it's a dessert, it's out there. Your hot chocolate the other day yours was good.
Oh, good.
Mine was diluted, I think. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think after this, we're going to make some holiday cookies and snacks, and we'll probably send you guys a picture. But awesome. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Again, this was our Christmas holiday special with Not Your Average Bros. You can find us at The Blonde Broker and
Ashley Decan.
And Not Your Average Bros on X, and follow our Instagram. We just made a new Instagram account where we're going to be posting all of our travel content and some little shorts from the actual vlog and podcast. Yep.
It's going to be fun.
Awesome. Thank you. Love you guys. Merry Christmas, everyone, from Not Your Average Bros. This episode is sponsored by Slingshot.
We love Slingshot because not only is it a really cool app to use when you buy a cryptocurrency, when you first log in, they have the trending collections day by day, and in fact, minute by minute, really. And you choose your favorite cryptocurrency. You go ahead and slingshot yourself to financial freedom, and you're able to buy with Apple Pay, Venmo, and other exchanges. So it is truly amazing. They also have something to where you can share your trades, and you can make your own mindshare on cryptocurrencies, and people can follow you, and you can earn a bit of that revenue when people use your mindshare.
And they're constantly verifying new meme coins and communities into the platform and app. So if you have a favorite meme coin that you're looking to purchase, it is most likely going to be found on Slingshot, and all you have to do is ping.
Bing. And they had Pingu within 5 minutes of its release, and that was a pretty big win if you're able to use it because it is such a quick purchase. And then when it goes up, you feel a little vibration, and it is truly amazing to see the progress that an app can make.
Slingshot your way into financial freedom.
We love you.